So from several of your answers, I got the notion that you're very involved on the campus. So let's pivot into your extracurriculars.
Right.
So you mentioned you were organizing a conference, CUSEC, which is Canadian University Software Engineering Conference, right?
Yes.
So how did you get involved with that? What was let's start with that. How did you get involved with CUSEC?
So I went to CUSEC in first year. Not a lot of first years went to CUSEC back then.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they go now. I think they do. But I think there were five or six of us out of 500. Or sorry, out of the 100 from U Ottawa maybe that went. So not a lot of first years from U Ottawa go to CUSEC. But I went because my friend wanted to go, and I thought it'd be a fun experience, go to Montreal, see and be with more like-minded people. So it's a 3-day conference, or a 3-night conference? Yeah, it's a 3-night conference in 4 days, I think. And it was so inspiring, that experience, and the people I met a lot of upper year students who were doing incredible things. So even just having a conversation with them was so inspiring and made me feel so excited for my future. And just the energy at the conference that I felt really affected me in a very positive way. And so after I attended as a delegate, I didn't go the year after because I was working, because I was on co-op. And then the year after that, so when I was in third year, I heard that they were looking for a head delegate for U Ottawa. And the head delegate, the guy that was the head delegate, when I went as a delegate, became my mentor, basically. My mentor, my friend, someone I talk to all the time, even still. We're very close, and he made a really positive impact in my life just because I met him on the bus to CUSEC. And I really look up to him. He's the guy I look up to. And I messaged him when I saw there's a head delegate position for U Ottawa open at CUSEC. And I'm like, hey, do you think I should do this? How was your experience like? Because you were HD, and he was still involved with CUSEC in different roles. And he's like, yes, do it, apply. You're perfect for it. You'll have so much fun. Because I wanted to go to CUSEC anyways. And I was like, if I'm going to go, and I love to be involved, I love that responsibility, why not go as head delegate? So that's what I did. I applied, I interviewed, I got it. And yeah, I took I think 147 U Ottawa delegates that year. It was the most number of delegates that I've ever been to CUSEC from U Ottawa. So that was really exciting. It was so much fun. I met so many people from U Ottawa that I'd never met before. I'd seen them around campus, and I'd seen them in class, upper years, students in first year, second year. Just meeting them and taking them to CUSEC was an incredible experience. And again, I had a blast at CUSEC from a different perspective, but still an amazing time. And when I met the organizers, and even the process of organizing, when we used to meet for our meetings online, I met people from Winnipeg. I met people from Montreal, obviously, from U of T, from Waterloo, from all over Canada. I met these incredible people, and they were just so kind, so like-minded, and it was just so fun. And I again felt that energy, that positive vibe, and it really inspires me that. It really I need that in my life. That's why I am so involved in the community, because I thrive on it,
So what is I guess the main what I want to know is what really is CUSEC? Because there's obviously I'm giving examples. We have Yoda Hack, right? But it's a hackathon.
Yeah.
Right? Does CUSEC have workshops? Is it kind of a project thing or is it a leadership conference?
I think CUSEC is the thing about CUSEC, and why it's different from hackathons, is it's anything you want it to be.
Okay.
So there are hackathons, there are lightning talks that you can do. You can show your projects to sponsors. You can like present your projects. You can present like lightning talks are basically like a talk you can present to the community about a topic you're passionate about. You could go there to go to the career fair. You could go there to see other like talks by like industry professionals from all over the world, and you can go there to find inspiration as well, right? And to find like-minded people. So CUSEC is anything you want it to be. It's not like a hackathon in the sense that you are working in a team on a project, but it's in this. You can find your team at CUSEC still, and it's a really fun experience because it teaches you how to be prepared for the industry. And how to, again, you can take whatever you want from it, like whatever you're looking for, you can find, I think, at CUSEC, because there's so many people, there are 500 delegates to chat with, you know, all ages, all in different years, all with different experiences. So yeah, it's very different from a hackathon. It doesn't have a sole purpose. It's whatever you need it to be.
So another organization you've been involved with is CISA, right? You were the last president of CISA before Tolu.
Yes.
So what was that like? How did you get involved with it? What are the things that you're most proud of?
Oh, okay. I've been involved with CISA for 4 years, like exactly 4 years now. Like in January, it'll be 4 years. Because in my first year, in second semester after CUSEC, I wanted to be more involved in the community because, again, I was very inspired, I was very motivated and determined to make an impact in the community, even in the slightest way. And so I heard about CISA, and so they were looking for like a manager to run the meetings and to like facilitate the meetings and all the administrative stuff. And I was like, perfect. And I'd met some of the people in CISA, like the upper year students, like the fourth year students in CISA back then at CUSEC. And so I applied to the position, I interviewed again, and I got it. And that's how my journey with CISA started. So I started in an administrative role as a manager, and then I kind of, was always have been a part of it throughout my university degrees. And like in fourth year, like last year, like you said, I was president, and now I'm an advisor. But it's so like incredible to think that it's been 4 years, but it never felt like work. For me, it was like connecting with other students that are like me and like-minded, and to make an impact in our Ottawa community of software engineers, computer scientists, and just running events. It was just so much fun. Yeah.
You're the first female guest on this web series, right? Sadly, that shouldn't really be the case. We really want to get more females on the show to talk about their experience here. But what is your take on the lack of women in this industry? And how do you think, if you have any ideas, how do you think we can maybe change that in the future?
That's a very good question. There are a lot of women in like computer science, not as much as men, but and there are not a lot of women. There are even fewer women in software engineering for some reason. There are more women in computer science than in software engineering. Like, I'm not sure, basically the same thing. But yeah, I did notice that when I was in first year, and it was kind of a shock to me because I never really, I don't know, it just never registered that it would be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, until like I was here and I looked around my classroom and my labs, and like I saw like mostly guys, especially in my software courses, and even still, and it's not a bad thing, but yeah, there should be more women in the industry. And I think the root cause is like, you gotta go to like high schools, like do a lot of like high school outreach, I think, like in grade 10, 11. That's when people are being inspired. Like for me, I decided in grade 10 And if someone like came to talk to more women about these options that they have, maybe there'll be more women in software engineering. I remember I was a part of WISE, which is like U Ottawa, like the U Ottawa chapter is like Women in Science and Engineering. They do a lot of high school outreach for girls in like high schools and middle schools. So that's like a really good initiative that I really like stood for and wanted to be a part of for a little bit. I didn't do it last year, I did it the year before. They're still running and they're going very strong. So there's so many like role models out there that you can find, and I feel like bringing them to light is important. Because we want to show software engineering as an option for women. And it's not challenging.
Yeah.
In the sense like it's not difficult for women rather than men. I don't know, I haven't been able to figure out what the root causes of more men than women. I don't think there is one cause. It's just how the circumstances have and how like the mentality is from middle school, I guess.
Yeah.
That's when you're trying to figure out what you like and what you don't like. And maybe these girls just haven't had the chance to explore this option. Yeah, maybe I mean it can only get better.
Yes, it can.
That's my hope. It can only get better, and I think it will get better with initiatives like WISE and IEEE, CSAT. A lot of people run events, and it's just not software engineering; it's engineering in general. And even computer science that has this problem, I guess.